All right, we are back to finish out the 2018 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires at the Circuit of the Americas. This is our last race of the weekend. This is Group G. This will be a three-wave start, all of them flying. First wave will be GTS2, led by Greg Smith. Then Eric Foss, Will Choice, Doug Young, Kerry James, Peter Chang, Steve Dunn, Zach Hillman, and Richard Bosco.
Second wave is also flying, John, although it looks like we've got two classes kind of co-mingled there. We've got PTE and PTD, so it's going to be Chris Kopitsky on the front row in the pole, followed by Team Rotary heads Joey Thomas, Bob Schotter, Jamie Close, honoring the memory of George Close Jr., Team Abergel Motorsports, Roman Weissman, Robert Dietz, Bren Westcott, Larry West Sr., Graham Baker, Kit Leslie, Jose Garcia, and John Bowles.
All right, third wave flying. It's going to be Shihan Chandra Soma leading the way. These are our spec Miatas that didn't get into the Toyo Classic yesterday, but still racing for some pride and glory there. Then Keith Williamson, James Harrell, Michael Cummings, Sean Douglas, Tony Sinise, Ryan Pond, Renaud Roland Hubert, Jason Griepentrag, Tim Barber, Natalino Scapatici. Then we've got Connor Kelleher, Zachary Monroe, and Brian Monroe, Mikey Stevens, John Harms, Stanley Cosper, and Jimmy Myers. That is your Group G starting order. All right, this is a 45-minute race. Then we will finish up for the weekend. We'll have the finals of the time trial results. Haven't heard any news about any adjustments there, so we'll give you those. We'll close out the weekend and bid you farewell, but this is the final contest for the weekend here at the Circuit of the Americas, just outside Austin, Texas. Beautiful facility here, built for Formula One standards, also the FIM with motorcycles. So really a top-notch facility, great staff here, super helpful and super professional, so we've been very blessed to be here and thankful to be completing the event. I think we've had a very successful event thus far, so this is the final race of the weekend. And then we'll be headed home all across the country, racers headed to every point of the U.S. once they get done here at the Circuit of the Americas. So three-wave flying start. We will be watching for our racers to come around through the back part of the course. That first wave, of course, will be away very quickly. There they are. GTS1 and GTS2, of course, are German cars, classified by weight to power. These are the ones with the lower power and the higher weight than the 3, 4, and 5 that we may have seen earlier. Then we'll have our Performance Touring D and Performance Touring E, and our Legends cars, the brothers to the Thunder Roadsters. So the field is forming up there for our first start. Should be coming through turn 19 now. There they are.
There we go.
We'll be ready to call them down the front straight, and that will be our first wave away for our final race of the weekend.
All right, we're getting our drone shot again. Awesome. What a lovely shot that is.
All right, folks, we are watching for a flying start here. Watch for them to spread out and the starter to wave that flag, and we are away.
Green, green, green.
This is our first wave of cars away for our final race of the weekend. Beautiful shot there. There you can see how wide that front straight is. All right, there we are, folks. They are away. Next wave should be coming through pretty quickly. Next wave should be our Performance Touring cars. There's our German Touring sedans. Hit it through 3 and 4. There's our next wave. Looks like they're spread out a bit. Don't know if you're supposed to deviate that far before the green. Starters waiting for them. There they are. And our
Here we
Next
go.
wave is away. That's our performance touring field. Next up will be our Spec Miatas, referred to as Spec Miata Deux in a few places.
Deux.
All right, let's see if this field makes it through safely. Looks like they have so far.
One slow car there towards the front, but looks
bad.
like he got out of the way.
Well done. One more flying wave to go.
Yeah, here we go. They're fanning out a lot there, John. There we go.
Woo.
Green flag.
Green flag, and here we are, our final green flag of the weekend. Spec Miata Part 2, Shihan Chandra Soma out there in front.
Nice hole shot there.
To maintain, little argy-bargy there. Number of cars off the outside of turn 1. All right, we'll watch through 5 and 6 and see how everybody comes through there. No laps complete yet. There we go. There's that beautiful blue and silver car out front, Shihan Chandra Soma. And we will see our first group of German cars.
Oh, and it looks like we've got some cars off there. Driver's right in that camera,
we have
John.
a car into the wall.
That is turn 9.
That was our Spec Miata, so we do have someone in the wall there. That will bring out a yellow flag condition, but our GTS field, now you can see that beautiful drone shot. GTS coming down the front straight now, starting to get some results in.
And it looks
GTS2, Eric Foss out front, then Greg Smith, Kerry James, Zach Hillman, and Will Choice, your top 5 in GTS2. All right, so the German cars have cleared.
The Germans.
Performance touring to come on through next. And then our Miatas. But we did see a car off and into the wall there, so that will affect the racing there. I believe in turn 9 that was.
Yeah, that was turn 9 there, John, and it looked like our performance touring group was through 15, so we should be seeing them
dropping
into
out of
19.
one of the BMWs.
Uh-oh.
All right, there's the Miatas coming through.
There we go. Now, this should be our PT group.
Touring. Yep. All right, so we'll watch for them to come down the front straight next. Getting a little loose. Looks like we have a spider that may be spinning a web now over the front of our camera, so it's a definite good spot for insects out there in turn 1.
You didn't know this was a nature show, John?
Right on.
Our guest commentator next year will be David Attenborough.
Beautiful. All right, PTE looks like Chris Kapitsky way out in front. Then the rotary heads, Jamie Close honoring George Jr. Team Abergel, Roman Weisman, Bob Scheider, John Bowles, and Robert Dietz in PTE there. PTD, Joey Thomas in front right now. Then Brett Westcott, Jose Garcia, Larry West Sr., and Kit Leslie. That's your PTD field. Here come the Miatas.
Looks like James Harrell there, John. He is the one. Oh, no, he crossed through the line. I'm trying to figure out who we have in the wall out there. Renaud Roland Hubert down 5 positions. James Harrell down 7 positions. You know, it's possible, John, that that person in turn 9 was not actually in the wall, but just spun off near the wall. Hopefully they continued. That would be nice.
Looks like it may be Michael Cummings.
Yeah, we'll have to. He's not crossing. Right.
We've only got 1 lap complete, so he may have not made it all the way to the stripe. That is Shihan Chandra Soma still out front of that Spec Miata group there.
Nice drive by Sheehan so far.
Indeed, but you see that waving yellow coming into that zone, so no passing until they get to where those safety trucks are pulling that car out.
Well, and that is turn 9, and so I guess you're right, John. We probably did have a car into the wall there, at least off in the gravel and disabled in one way or another. So we'll get that cleared out as soon as we can. We'll have green flag racing all the way around the course.
Down the front straight, we've got our BMWs. That's our German touring sedans. Looks like we have a challenge up there at the front starting to come together.
Yeah, Greg Smith, you know, he was our pole sitter, so he definitely wants that first place spot back from Eric Foss. He's not giving him any extra room.
Awesome battle in GTS2 up front. Also very close, the whole field right now in GTS2. There's your GTS2 field again, coming into that You can see the yellow flag waving with a red cross indicating safety is working in that corner. Here's our performance touring field now. They are coming around through turn 11. See if we can pick them up in 12 and see what's going on there. All right, looks like we have our field now coming into 19. Chris Kapitsky across the line in PTE. Then the team rotary heads not too far behind. Jamie Close, Bob Shader, Roman Weisman across. Looks like they are running actually faster than the PTD cars right now.
And look at that there, John. Somebody having a look to the inside as they come into turn 1. Looks like he made the pass.
Nice work.
Gonna make it stick. That looked like a Miata. Who is that?
Not too shabby. Let's see our spec Miata field coming around here pretty quick. We will see, yep, Shihan Chandrasoma still out front with Keith Williamson in hot pursuit, just .433 behind. Then Jason Griepentrog. Tim Barber back out.
Yeah, Tim Barber
Up
doing
6
really
positions.
well. Yeah, up 6 positions into 4th. He started 10th. He has been having some trouble with a Spec Miata throughout the weekend here, but coming off of a big win in Spec E30, I think Tim Barber's excited to be back out there and might be doing a little bit better because of it.
Great work. All right, folks, 2 laps complete, working the 3rd lap. About 12 minutes down, 45 minutes scheduled on the clock for this championship race. Again, our final championship race of the weekend. We've got Spec Miatas out there, PTD, PTE, and also GTS2.
And John, I think that pass that I witnessed into turn 1 there, I believe that was one of our PT Miatas because the Spec Miata crew had not come through it at that point.
Oh, right on, a little hard to tell apart, and a PTE Miata is essentially a Spec Miata.
Well, they do look the same from the outside, aside from the different letters in sticker form on the side of the door, which unfortunately I can't see from this distance.
Right on. Ooh, a little bit of movement there. There's Roman Weisman in his Saturn. All right, safety crew seems to have that car cleared, so that will clear that yellow zone. They'll be out of here in just a minute. Looking for the PT field, I believe, to come across the line next and sort out. Then we'll watch that Miata race as well. Performance touring right now. Kapitsky still out in front of PTE and overall of the performance touring field. He's through. Ooh, a little bit of a move there.
Yeah, it looks like they're 3
That was
wide
one of
there
the
going up the front
BMWs.
straight. Yeah.
So that may be a car that's having a little trouble. Have to keep an eye on that. That is Kapitsky in that red Miata with the white stripe. Ooh, a big move down there. But again, just one move allowed. And that was, I believe, for position. So things are getting a little bit heated all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Guess everybody realizes it is a championship race for these classes. Looks like our big field of Miatas will be across the stripe next. There's Shihan Chandrasoma doing a great job.
Hey, look at
Still
that,
out in
John.
front.
Tim Barber up 1 more position in
Oh,
Spec
boy.
Miata, now up to 3rd place, taking over 3rd from Jason Grippentrog.
And just behind Keith Williamson. So that's those 2 cars that you can see right. But here comes Tim Barber with a move down the inside. I think he made it stick big time. So Tim Barber now has Shihan Chandrasoma in his sights. We'll see if the young driver there is able to hold off the wily veteran. So we are now about 15 minutes in, 4 laps complete, working lap 5. About 30 minutes left. Current pace, probably another 10 to 12, probably about 12, 13 laps left. So very early in this final race of the weekend. Up, Tim Barber is that our Miata field?
I believe that is, John.
I think Tim Barber may have already gotten by. Shihan Chandrasoma, but we aren't sure just yet.
Well, he was getting it done with. He was getting it done very rapidly out there, John, so I wouldn't be surprised. But then Shihan, I would hope, would put up a battle there. And you never know. He might make a move and try to retake the lead.
I don't know, but that's the wily veteran again, Tim Barber, for the great result earlier. And now here he is in the Miata race, making up for lost time. Didn't get there in a Toyo Classic, but he's trying to get there in this Miata race.
It looks like there's still some good battles to be had out there. John and PTD. Brett Westcott's only, look at this, 0.03 seconds behind Joey Thomas. So we might have a battle for the lead in PTD. Also looking at PTE, there's a pretty big gap there between Kapitsky and Team Rotary Heads. But if you go back a couple more positions, Bob Shader is pretty close to Jamie Close. Also, looks like Team Abigail Motorsports, I believe that's Michael Amelko driving that Mazda Miata out there. Roman Weisman right behind, about 5 seconds to gain, and John Bowles only half a second from Roman.
All right, PT Field coming across the stripe now. Kapitsky still out in front of PTE, then the Rotary Heads. Jamie Close, Bob Shader. Well, you just did that, didn't you?
That's what I was saying, yes, sir.
Right. I just
It's
saw
all
on
right.
the camera shot. Sorry, folks, it's been a long weekend. We're getting a little bit tired, but we are still hanging in there.
Hey, we're getting close to the end here, but there's still some great action going on the track. And we're going to call it to the finish here. Looks like Greg Smith out there in GTS2 has our fastest lap of the event so far. That was 1 lap ago. 2:33.905 out there.
Again, that should be our 2 BMWs there, Foss and Smith. They're having a heck of a race. That's probably them right there.
Yeah, and again, Foss Smith was our pole sitter. Foss was on the first
Tim
row.
Barber and Shihan Chandrasoma. Barber just got inside of Shihan there.
So he made it work there. Now let's look into turn 3.
Yep,
and
turn 3, let's see how it goes.
If he makes it stick there.
Yep, has so far.
Yeah, looks like Barber in the lead now in Spec
A
Miata.
lot of respect for those two. That could have worked out poorly.
Yeah.
If Shihan would have decided to shut the door on Tim right there, that could have worked out poorly. So good judgment. A lot of respect to both drivers. Well done.
Well, and the payoff is that Shihan is just still right there, ready to make another move, ready to react. Should Tim Barber make a mistake, or should the opportunity to pass present itself, he'll be right there, ready to take advantage of it. And we were just talking about GTS2, John. Eric Foss and Greg Smith, they are duking it out there. Greg Smith, of course, was our #1 qualifier and our pole sitter, so he's hungry to take that back from Eric Foss.
We are seeing some mixing in of the fields now. You're seeing a lot of BMWs in with the Miatas and all sorts of other stuff, so that's going to be a little bit of a challenge as we get in there. We have one Miata that just went a little bit wide there, so that is pretty cool. All right, folks, we are now 18 minutes in, 5 laps complete, working lap 6, 45 minutes scheduled for this race. Again, our final championship race of the weekend. There's Roman Weisman and John Bowles coming across your screen. That's Saturn and that first gen RX-7. There's that drone shot. Beautiful stuff when we can see that, and you just see how vast this facility is.
You can see just how far off that Miata just went.
Good grief. Well, as long as they're back before the grass begins, I guess they're okay.
Right. Talk about acres of runoff, though. Literally.
Literally. It's wonderful. But every track has its different charms and features. That's one of the great things about the Circuit of the Americas. There is a lot of real estate to work with. Wonderful time this weekend here for all of our NASA drivers. We've really enjoyed all the Texas hospitality and really enjoyed being here at the Circuit of the Americas. Let's see if we can pick up that Spec Miata contest. They should be coming around turn 19 any time now. So we'll follow them around and see what's what. I did see some of the Miatas coming down the back straight earlier. I believe this may be them. All right, there's a freight train coming through of a couple of BMWs. That's probably our leaders in 1 and 2, mixing into the back of Spec Miata right now. I believe that was our leaders in GTS2, slotting in between Tim Barber and Sheehan Chandrasoma. Eric Foss in front of Greg Smith. So they're having a heck of a battle, only .313 behind Eric Foss for Greg Smith. So great battle at the front of GTS1 or GTS2, and also our Spec Miata race looking pretty darn good too, with Sheehan Chandrasoma and Tim Barber right together. .20 minutes, 21 minutes complete now. 45-minute total race. 6 laps complete, working lap 7. We are starting to see a lot of rigs packing up, but we're still here and enjoying the last bit of NASA Championship racing here at the Circuit of the Americas with you. All right, we'll be trying to pick up those GTS2 leaders pretty quick. That is a great race happening between Greg Smith and Eric Foss. They were working through that Spec Miata traffic there. So we will see how they manage all of that. A little bit of a challenge. I think that may have been them coming by right there. No, I think that was Joey Thomas. Faked me out. He's also in a BMW. Chris Kapitsky, you can see right there in the Miata with the white stripe down the middle. There's your GTS leaders. I think that's Joey Thomas again. Faked me out. Wrong BMW, dude. So we'll try to figure out where our two GTS2 leaders are.
Well, they just came across the timing lights there, John, so they should be heading up the front straight away.
I bet that's them coming under the bridge right now.
Yep, silver and black.
Let's see what happens. I believe that is Foss out in front of Smith. Very tight racing with those two, but a lot of respect. They are giving each other plenty of room. But also right there is Zach Hillman. He's not too far off the pace either.
Yeah, just 1 second behind, and he keeps on setting fast times here.
There they are, top 3 in GTS2 on your screen right now. 2 BMWs and 1 Porsche.
So, John, last time by, Zach Hillman was over a second faster than both of the guys in front of him, and he has exactly 1 second between him and Greg Smith. But if you look at Foss and Smith, I mean, they are turning laps that are almost identical out there. 2:33.995, 2:33.849 for Smith. And that is, splitting hairs out there. Let's see how Hillman does. It looks like he could be rapidly advancing on him.
All right, lots of close racing still happening here. About 24 minutes complete, working lap 8. About 20 minutes left. Ought to get in another probably 7 or 8 laps, we hope. Been a wonderful weekend here, lots of racing and time trial. And a lot of fun too.
Yeah, always fun out here at the NASA Champs. Going to a new part of the country, seeing some excellent racing, and of course, seeing all of our old racing friends out here. There are racers out here from all over the USA. All the different NASA regions represented here at the Champs.
Watching your PT PT field come through right there. Can't miss that Saturn of Roman Weisman. All right, more of that cool drone footage. Showing you the last couple of turns there. I think that was Chris Kapitsky. Just went through. Brett Westcott still out in front of PTD, but Joey Thomas not too far behind. Still have that great battle happening up at the front. Oh, they're even closer last time by Foss and Smith. So that's a great race in GTS2. They just crossed the stripe, so let's see if we can
look at
pick
that.
them
Yeah,
up.
half a second between them.
Let's go to the front straight cam and see if we can pick up Foss and Smith. There they are right there, the 2 BMWs. Hillman just behind. He's trying to mount a charge. Let's see what happens as they come through turn 1. All three right together for GTS2. Zach Hillman was mounting a little bit of a charge right there. Let's go to 3, see what happens. There we go. All three of them right together. Zach Hillman is all over the back bumper, and Eric Foss is out in front now. So Zach Hillman is all over the back of Greg Smith. Great racing in GTS2. All right, there they are through 5 and 6, just fine. Let's pick them up in turn 9. You're looking for 2 BMWs and a transaxle Porsche. There they went. Zach Hillman was going to come around the outside of Greg Smith. Watching turn 11. Let's see what's going on. All right, we are waiting for our GTS2 leaders to go flying through there.
There's the Saturn.
There they are. They're working through that traffic now. They are into
Oh,
the
it didn't
thick
look
of
like
PTE.
Hillman was in front there, but boy, there was almost no gap between them.
Yep. All right, let's see what goes down in 12, because the GTS2 leaders are now in heavy traffic. So they are going to have to do some work to get through that PT field. And see how it goes down. There is, I believe, our... Oh. Where'd they go? No, I think that was Joey Thomas faking me out again. Nope, here they are. Wow, look at that. Zach Hillman, I believe, got by.
And it looked like
Greg
Roman
Smith.
getting forced wide there just a little bit as the BMWs came thundering through.
Well, they are on. So next up, we'll pick them up in 15, see what's going on.
BMW 3 Series is a ground pounder
Oh,
to
there
a
we
Saturn.
go. They just went through again. They are through the thick of the field there. See if we can pick them up in 19 now. So again, we're looking for 2 BMWs and a transaxle Porsche. All right. And there they are, through again. Woo! All right, let's see who is in front as we come around.
It looks like
Zach
Foss
Hillman
still.
is right there. So Foss, Hillman, and then Smith.
Oh,
So a little shuffle.
working his
So we
way
do
up.
have a flag there on the front straight. I don't know whether that's a black flag or something going on, but or maybe a passing flag being displayed. But there they are. Your 2 BMWs and your Porsche. Looks like Foss still in front, then Hillman. Sorry, that froze up a little bit there on us, folks. Oh boy, Zach Hillman is all over the back of Eric Foss. Looks like Greg Smith has fallen back a little bit.
And John, looking at PTE, looks like there's been a bit of a shakeup there too. Looks like Jamie Close up to 3rd place, Team Abergel Motorsports up to 4th, and Roman Weisman in 5th. So it looks like Abergel Motorsports, I believe that's Michael Omelko, has gotten around Roman Weisman.
Well done. All right, folks, coming up on 29 minutes completed, working lap 10. So we are getting into the final stages now of this race. If I had to guess, I'd say probably about 3 to 4 laps left in this contest. Spec Miata, Shihan Chandrasoma still chasing Tim Barber, about 3.5 seconds behind, and another 8 seconds back to Keith Williamson. So your podium there is starting to solidify a little bit. So we will watch that GTS2 battle because that seems to be the closest one that is going on right now. All right, looks like there they are just through our camera shot. Still Zach Hillman glued to the back of Eric Foss. All right, so we seem to have kind of solidified in a few of the classes, but I ain't calling GTS2 until the very end.
Yeah, wait till that checkered flies. These guys are really all over each other, and with the lap times they're turning out there, I mean, it's anybody's game at this point,
And
John.
I think I just saw Zach Hillman. There it is. Zach Hillman got by Eric Foss, and now Greg Smith is up in the hunt too. So that's a big development. Let's watch right here. Here they come. Zach
Wow.
Hillman a little wide, then Foss, then Smith. great battle happening there. Let's watch them down the front straight. Two different kinds of cars, but again, equal power to weight ratios and other factors. Smith is kicking out a little bit. He's going to try it down the inside. Now the outside, but very smartly, Zach Hillman held his line. He didn't change at all. That may have been a move to try and get him to sucker into a block. Pretty crafty there, Eric. Pretty crafty. Zach Hillman, but boy, Greg Smith, he is all over Eric Foss now. Zach Hillman still out in front, but those three are right together. Oh, big spin! All three of them! All three of them!
And some contact as well.
Oh, big contact.
Look at that.
Look at the front end of Eric Foss's car.
Man. Well, one of those cars made it through, so I see Hillman off. Looks like Foss is off. I think Greg Smith made it through there.
Well, he got hit too. Oh, there's fluid. That's it. Look at everybody's going wild.
Oh, boy.
There's fluid down there. That may be from this incident or from before, but a lot of fluid down. Oh, boy. Well, that was exciting in not a good way. So it looks like we have fluid down. Just saw Zach Hillman pop the door open and jump out of his car, so he's going over to the flag station.
5, I think.
You can see him in that shot. So 31 minutes elapsed, about 4 or maybe 13 remaining. We did have apparently a little bit of a brief fire, probably from Zach Hillman's car, which is why he exited with brio and much enthusiasm. Bummer. That was a great race. So we don't know whether they hit fluid and then spun, or whether they spun and then created fluid.
Yeah, I'm not sure there, John. That's interesting. Well, you know,
kind of a chicken and the egg problem there.
Well, if Hillman had a very small fire issue out there, I'm guessing that it was fluid from him. You know, because generally, when
it's
you
out
get
now. You know, we never want to say the F word at the track, which is fire.
Well, you know, John, that's one of our benefits of not being on a control frequency here.
No
We don't have to worry about freaking out the emergency services.
We can say rolling.
We could say
fire.
Rolling,
we can say
fire.
Red. So we are hearing from some of our observers out there on the course that there was some slidage before they all got together. So fluid was probably already there, and then it just completely hosed
the plot thickens.
GTS2 race. But apparently there's no fluid according to the control channel, so we'll see what was happening, whether they all had to wool up or whether there was some fluid on the course. But that really changed the outcome of the GTS2 race. So bummed for Zach Hillman. Looks like Eric Foss had pretty significant damage on the left front corner. Yep. So Hillman and Foss are falling down the order quickly, so I think they are both done.
Well, so is Smith there, John. You know,
so
I think
Smith.
You know, I think Smith must have. He did continue from where the incident was, but he must have come in and gone into the pits or something. Because
hey, Kerry James, you're going to be a champion right now because you just went to the front of GTS2 along with Doug Young and Will Choice. So big podium shuffle there in GTS2.
That does happen sometimes, John. It all comes down to biding your time. You know, sometimes that is what pays off. It's the old, turtle versus the hare scenario.
There's a scorpion in there somewhere and a frog, but not sure how that works out. We'll have to ask David Attenborough when he comes to call the races next year.
Hopefully there's a prancing horse, too.
Exactly. All right, folks, we do have about, 11 minutes left, so probably about 3 or 4 laps. We do have a waving yellow there with Zach Hillman's car.
Yep, and there it is. It's official on our live timing. Hillman, Foss, and Smith out.
Man, that's a bummer.
Yeah, big bummer. Exciting racing, though. Absolutely.
While
Start to finish. Has been all day today.
While it lasted, that was pretty cool, Beavis. All right, well, PTD, Brett Westcott's still out in front, followed by Larry West Sr. and Joey Thomas, Jose Garcia in 5th, and Kit Leslie in 4th. Jose's in 4th, Kit's in 5th. PTE, we do have Chris Kapitsky out front, the Rotary Heads, Jamie Close, Team Abergel, Bob Shader, Roman Weisman, John Bowles, and Robert Dietz. Tim Barber still out in front of Spec Miata, then Shihan Chandrasoma, Keith Williamson, James Harrell, Zachary Monroe, Jason Griepentag, Tony Sinise, Sean Douglas, Renaud Roland Robert, John Harms, Mickey Stevens, Brian Monroe, Jimmy Myers, looks like Mike Rossini is out.
And then it looks like our last three there might not have even hit the course here, John.
I think Michael Cummings was out. He was that first lap car that was into the wall there. So he didn't get much of a chance to get out there and give it a shot.
And there we go. There are new leaders in GTS2, Kerry James, Doug Young, and Will Choice.
Pretty cool.
Coming up the front street. Now, it looks like somebody's looking to make a move here.
Oh, wow.
I think that might be Doug Young.
Doug Young may have just, well, that's one of our Miatas.
Oh, no, it was the two BMWs going around the Miata.
Right
That's
on.
what it was. Sorry, I got excited.
Kerry James and Doug Young, there's only half a second between the two of them, so they are indeed right together.
Yeah, Doug Young is poised to make a move there.
Just saw Shihan Chandrasoma go through. Tim Barber, about 3 seconds in front of Shihan.
You know, and the both of them are doing fantastic against the third place car there. Keith Williamson is 13.289 seconds behind.
Oh, big spin. That was number 12 in PTE with a big old spin. And continue.
That's Bob Shader.
Yeah, all right.
Running fourth place.
I think he lost a couple of positions there, though, with that spinach.
Well, yeah, you know, Michael Amelko was right there ready to take advantage of that spin. Roman Weissman also. And John Bowles, we're going to have to see where he ends up as they come around. That could have been a big move up for a couple of cars there.
A little bit of a shuffle there. All right, we do still have Zach Hillman out there, safety working to get his car secured and off the course. 37 minutes, 12 laps complete, working 13. All right, 12 laps complete right now. Not long, another couple laps maybe remaining in our final championship race of the weekend. White flag this time by for the overall leaders. So we're watching for that white flag. We'll get it right this time. We only got one race to get it right again.
I see a flag out at the starter stand, John, but I almost think it might be a Red Cross flag. Are they using that to signify safety vehicles?
Yeah, Red Cross is safety. Leaders in turn 19 right now. Okay. So this time by, they're getting the white. We're getting ready. So we're looking, I think, for Chris Kapitsky. He was our overall leader as far as I know. There's that white flag. You can see it wave. So Chris Kapitsky has set the white flag in motion. By God, we got it right this time. All right, leader is 44. Leader is Chris Kapitsky there, I think. Or it may have changed up, actually. I think the leader's Kerry James, not Chris Kapitsky. So those BMWs are the ones setting the white flag. So Kerry James and Doug Young on their final lap right together, only half second apart. Let's see if we can pick up Kerry James and Doug Young as they go around. Should be somewhere around turn 5 and 6, perhaps. There we go. I think that's our two BMWs there. Those are our leaders right now.
That is them.
Let's pick them up in 9. All right, there they are. Kerry James just in front of Doug Young. Going to be excitement to the end on this one. Let's go to 11. Again, following our leaders around in GTS2. 2 BMWs. All right, there they are through turn 11 now. So we're going to watch for them through 12 there. All right, so we're looking for 2 BMWs. That will be Kerry James and Doug Young. Taking it down to the wire to see who wins GTS2. They weren't expecting that until we had all 3 of our 3 podium spots basically had an incident. And off they went. There they are. Kerry James still out in front, but Doug Young not giving up yet.
Still half a lap to go here, John.
Let's follow him to 15. Going to be right down to the wire. Last time by, they were running almost identical lap times. Actually, Kerry James was slower last time by. So there they are. Pick them up through 19 now. And then we will have the checkered flag out and start rolling it up. All right, there's the checker. Looks like Kerry James took home the win in GTS2, followed by Doug Young. Third position on the podium will belong to Will Choice, I believe, then Peter Chang. Steve Dunn, Richard Bosco. Unfortunately, Foss, Hillman, and Smith are out in GTS2.
PTD looks like Brett Westcott is taking home the championship, followed by Larry West Sr., Joey Thomas, Jose Garcia, and Kit Leslie rounding out that PTD field.
PTE, Chris Kapitsky with the win, followed by the Rotary Heads. Jamie Close honoring his brother George Close Jr., third place, final position on the podium. Team Abergale Motorsports, Roman Weisman, John Bowles, Bob Shader, and Robert Dietz. That's your PTE field.
And Spec Miata, our final group there. Tim Barber taking the win. Shihan Chandra Soma right behind there. Keith Williamson in third, followed by James Harrell, Zachary Monroe, Jason Grippentrog, Tony Sinise, Renaud Roland Hubert, Sean Douglas, John Harms, Brian Monroe, Mickey Stevens, Jimmy Myers, and then our DNFs at the end there, Mike Rossini, Michael Cummings, Connor Kelleher, and Stanley Cosper. It's almost time to say goodnight here, but we do have some more results we want to read off for you folks. We do have the results from our TT group earlier on today. John, what do we have here?
All right, these are provisional, but we believe them to be accurate. TT1, Timothy Bidwell with the win, then Cable Rosenberg, followed by Savannah Little, Monsuru Tony Ibrahim, and Terry Free. TT2, Kevin Fennell taking the win, followed by Ole Thardarson, then Chet Mosley, Tage Evanson, Russ Taylor, Anthony Imperato, Casey Jones, Leo Alexander, Brady Flaherty, Jason Bagalke. Team CTSV Racing. TT3, Paul Costas with the win, followed by Dave Schatz. Boy, no wins for Dave Schatz this weekend.
No more championships.
That's kind of weird.
That's big news right there.
Team Edge MV in the third place in TT3. Adam Balotitis. Then we have Team Vorschlag, Bruce Mowry, Team P Squared Motorsports, Brian Turner, Herv Bizarre, Joel Morrison. Final position in TT3. Then TT4, Team Edge Motorworks S, Team Edge Motorworks K, Team Edge Motorworks Tagen, John Wallace, Ricky Johnson, Jeffrey Birdwell, Jeff Hughes, Dayton De La Husse, Michael Smith, and Art Kershudian.
Thank you, John. In TT5, Bryce Cleaver is the winner, followed by Richard Sukavong, Team Chameleon Racing, Fulton Haight, Mark Phillips, Paul Hancock, and Scott Adams. In TTD, Marcelo Vine took the win, followed by Sean Tretiak, Team Offset Motorworks in third, Darren Griffin in fourth, Pramesh Ruparelia in fifth place, and that rounds out TTD. In TTE, Chris Kapitsky took the win, followed by David Whitener, Austin Cobb, Team Rotary Heads, Roman Weisman in fifth place, Jean Bowles in sixth, and Team Abergale Motorsports in seventh. In TTU, the final class here, Troy Messer took the win, followed by Brian Fassler, Team Art Racing, Ari Below, Matt Cresci in the Team Rattlesnake Electric Sport car, Ryan Flaherty in sixth place, and Jack Cabetto in seventh.
All right,
also want to give a huge thank you out there to our presenting sponsor, Toyo Tires, as well as our other sponsors, Contingencies and the like, Race Pack, and also Racer 360, the remote training system. Big thank you to all of you for helping us make this lovely event happen. John, we're just about done here.
Almost. So we aren't going to have, unfortunately, our interview camera went down, so we aren't going to have podium interviews. We apologize so much for that. But we did have a camera completely go on the fritz at the end of the last session. So this will be it for our coverage, folks. We thank all of you for joining us. To the families of the racers and the racers, thanks for choosing NASA and letting your family members come out and play with us. Again, if you want to learn how to drive with NASA, go to nasaproracing.com and come out to an event near you. Lots of information. If you don't want to drive, hey, we'd love to have you join the team as an official, and we'd love to see you out there in any capacity you can. Again, thanks to everyone at the Circuit of the Americas for their great support, from all of their safety teams, administrative officials, their race control staff. Everybody involved at the Circuit of Americas has been lovely to deal with, and many, many thanks to them for hosting our biggest championship event yet. So, continued success to all of you out there in the field, continued good luck, and we'll look forward to seeing you at a NASA event somewhere in this great country of ours. Jeff, take us out.
All right, John. Well, for John Lindsay, I'm Jeff Pitts, saying good fight.
And good night. Be well, folks. We're out.